Hey everyone, this is Looking for a Scrap, and today we have a very different deck tech for you guys. This is a UPF deck tech, not a CC deck tech, which is what I normally do. But I just had so much fun with this UPF deck that I really wanted to share with you guys, like what kind of cool things you guys can do in UPF. If you guys don't know, UPF is a multiplayer Flesh and Blood experience. Usually you play with up to 4 players, and UPF is basically Flesh and Blood's version of Commander, and I think UPF is pretty awesome every once in a while. I played it at my local game store, FaB Foundry. Shout out to FaB Foundry, by the way. Go support them. I'm not sponsored, but you guys should support them. They are a great local game store and a great online retailer as well. Anyways, in UPF, a lot of your bad cards have a home that you would never ever play anywhere else. And UPF also has a lot of exclusive bad cards to mess around with called the special use promos. Special use promos are like Spirit of Christmas. Cards are not available in use in Classic Constructed or Blitz or any competitive format, but they do have a use in UPF. So let's get right into it. You guys might not know which hero this is. This hero is Melody Singalong. She is a bard hero, a young bard hero released in the Tolarian Community College collaboration with LSS. She says, whenever you play a song, create copper tokens equal to the number of other heroes in the game. Usually this deck, if you see Melody, you will probably see that your opponent is playing Final Act, which is a card that gets plus X times 2, where X is the number of cards in pitches. So what Melody would do is create a lot of copper tokens and then help the rest of the table out by playing kind of group hug style, and then eventually they will build up so many copper tokens that they will just destroy all their copper tokens at once and draw a lot of cards and have a lot of cards in pitch, and then final Axstone for like 25 or something like that. And usually that's the reason why you will play Melody, but for my version of Melody, this hero text is almost entirely irrelevant. There's 2 songs in this deck, so I only can make up to 6 copper, and I'm not remembering them back in the deck, which is probably wondering why. That's like the whole purpose of playing Melody. I'm playing Melody for the second bard weapon in the game. So there are two bard exclusive weapons. One is Jinglewood, which is Melody's signature weapon, introduced in the Round the Table collab with Tulane Community College and LSS. I'm using Hummingbird, Call of Adventure. This deck is entirely built around Hummingbird, and Hummingbird is a weapon introduced, I believe, in the first year of competitive play. I believe it was a Worlds promo. I could be wrong, either Worlds or one of the Pro Tour promos. Anyways, Hummingbird says, at the start of your turn, choose 1. Each hero creates a Quicken token, each hero draws a card, or each hero gains 1 life. Sounds pretty simple, right? You just basically a group hug weapon, right? You just don't really get very much out of it. But the entire reason why we are running this weapon is that we are picking each hero creates a Quicken token 95% of the time. This is basically a really strong effect. It's kind of like activating Chain every turn without creating the Soul Shackle, but instead you give everyone else a Quicken token, which is more fun. So if we're basically activating Chain every turn. What can we do with Chain? Chain activation can go pretty crazy, but first we go over the equipment. We have Arcanite Skullcap, Arcanite Fortress. Arcanite Skullcap is basically a 3-block that we can use later on with another special UPF card. Arcanite Fortress is because we're already running Skullcap, you might as well get another 2-block out of it. Snapdragons is basically another Quicken token. Stonewall Gauntlet blocks for 2. And as a generic equipment, a very good card. We are basically running the entire deck around 0 for 4s. So we have the entire cycle of emissaries from Part to Mistveil. So Emissary of Moon, Emissary of Tides, Emissary of Wind all have some effect when you choose to bottom a card. So they're kind of like budget E-strikes, but they're 0 for 4s. So you don't have to choose to bottom a card, unlike E-strike where you have to bottom a card. We're also running Exude Confidence, which stops defense reactions if they don't block with a 0 for, or at least a 4 power card or higher. Scar for Scar is a great card. 0 for 4 can already have go again, so you can go 3 wide. And then we have Scarf for a Scarf, which is the content creator exclusive promo. I am not a content creator that got these promos yet, but I did get some from my good friend February because I won it from February. So shout out to February. But anyway, Scarf for a Scarf is basically if your Arcanate Skullcap already has -2 counters on it, you just trade it to someone else, and then they get like useless equipment, and you just steal theirs. So and also gets go again. So Scarf for Scarf also always just lets you just go 3 wide at least, and it's such a funny card. We're also running a lot of Rainbow Snatch. We're running Rainbow Snatches, and we're running like a few more 0/4s here. Coax Commotion is the text on Hummingbird. However, it's on a 0/4, so if you hit someone with it, you can just convince them, hey, I'll pick all modes, and then you just pick all modes, and then you can go like 3 or 4 wide with this card, and everyone draws a card. It's a fun card. It's a funny card. I love Coax Commotion. It's such an awesome card. Sending Order, 0/4, blocks for 3. It's upgraded Wounding Blow. You can bottom an Arsenal if you want to block for 5 or you want to attack for 6. Vipox is not a good card, but I think it's funny, so it's in the deck. Vipox is 0 for 1. If you hit someone, it'll be a 0 for 5 because they will lose 4 life if they have 4 cards in hand. It can also be good against Kraken's Aether Vein Verdance if there's a Verdance at the table, but generally speaking, this card is just really funny. They will almost never let you hit with it. We have no attack reaction to let you hit over the top of anything with it. Maybe if someone at the table lightning presses your Vipox, it'll be funny, but yeah, you can't attack react other people's stuff, but you can play instants on other people's stuff. Yeah, we're also running Rainbow Snatch. Snatch is pretty good when your hero power says create a Quicken token for each hero every turn, right? So 0/4 basically always has go again, or 0/2 or 0/3. Yeah, just go wild with Quicken tokens and Snatches. We also have more fun cards. Deathmatch Arena makes it a real party. You can basically attack. So if you're not aware how UPF works, you cannot attack the person diagonally from you or anywhere else other than to your direct left and to your direct right if you're playing a 5-player plus game. So Deathmatch Arena lets you attack any other opposing hero and lets anyone attack anyone. So if you want to say like, hey, we should gang up on this one person, you just play Deathmatch Arena and you just let the table go crazy. No one is safe anymore. 10 foot tall and bulletproof. If you have not watched my previous video, you should go watch that one. That video is hilarious, and you guys will understand why I love this card so much. It's a 3 for 10 damage or just a blocks for 10. You can close out games with this one. We usually don't have very much. We don't really have very much damage in this deck, aside from the 0/4s, and we need to deal 60 damage total because you need to go through 60 health. So 10 foot tall and bulletproof is a way to try to force through some damage when you can't otherwise. We have 1 copy of Remembrance in case of fatigue. This is pretty often in UPF if you play UPF enough. Remembrance is probably like one of the best cards in the deck. Besides the other 2 cards that we will talk about on the next slide. Good Deeds. This is also a hilarious card, and this card will give you a resource if you choose to give someone a resource to play this rounds on me, because we're not running Tunic. So yeah, basically you just choose everyone to gain, like, you just choose one person, other person to draw a card on their side of return, and you choose one person to gain a resource, choose one person to gain 1 life, and you get all 3 benefits on your turn. Pretty fun card. I love Good Deeds. Don't go notice. Truce. Funny card in UPF. You just pick someone. You can pick someone across from the table from you. You gain 3 life. They both gain 3 life. Pretty good. Or if someone's attacking you, just play it against them and target them, and then force them to draw you a card. And then this round's on me. Good anti-aggro card. Everyone draws a card too, so it's hilarious. The thing about UPF is like a lot of everyone does this or everyone does that. It's just the most fun cards in UPF. That's like the reason why you play UPF. I'll go into that later on in the video, but next off we have Sink Below, Drone of Brutality, and Song of Yesteryears. Sink Below is pretty standard. Song of Yesteryears is just a funny blue block 3. You can just use this card to kill other people by like ask your opponents to, hey, can you bottom that 10-foot tall bulletproof, and then just hit someone else with it. So you just hope that people will attack other people with it. And then we have Drone of Brutality. So a little bit of rant on this card. If you guys have not seen Drone of Brutality yet, this card is probably the most broken card of all time. I am dead serious. I think this card should. This card is horrible. This card is horrible for the game. In a lot of UPF games, Drone of Brutality. If two people have Drone of Brutality in their decks, the game usually or it could just end with two people just swinging Drone of Brutality at each other over and over again. So Drone of Brutality is one of the best cards in the deck because you can never get rid of it. And a game, especially UPF, where the game heavily relies around fatigue, and like the games like tend to go very long, tend to drag out to fatigue, Drone of Brutality is one of the best cards in the deck by far. Now that's saying, should you run Drone of Brutality in your decks to keep it balanced? If you want to have fun, I think you should run Drone of Brutality, but also you probably don't, like, it's also a lot of fun to not run Drone of Brutality. This is the only format in the game where you can actually play Drone of Brutality, and just that by itself is a novelty on its own. But I think after a few games, if you decide that Drone of Brutality is just winning you too many games because it's kind of a boring win con, so you should probably take it out of your decks if you think it's too boring. But should they ban this card in UPF? No. But I might take Drone of Brutality out for more Surfer Force, to be honest. Maybe add Wounding Blow or something. But rant over with Drone of Brutality. I hate Drone of Brutality, but I also love it. It's one of my favorite cards, but it's also one of the most boring win cons in the game. And besides that, we have the sideboard 2 Oasis Respite for Wizards or Verdants or anything that you can use to save someone else too. It's really funny if you use it to save someone else. And we also have Snag. Snag is for opposing Melody. I always run 2 Snag in every single UPF deck I ever make because Snag is just so good against opposing Melody because it sets their final axe power to 0 or to 1 every time. And almost every table I've sat at in UPF has had a Melody that is built to run final act in it. So I just happen to have Snag in every single deck I make for UPF. No Rune Boots, no Rune Gloves for AB2 if you have Arcanine Skullcap, because you will have it. Online you will have AB5 total, so it could be useful against the Wizards. Don't get blown up by Rampant Growth Life combos from Verdants. And we have Vambrace of Determination, just for fun. If someone is playing Enigma or any like Prism or something like that, Vambrace could be good. Well, otherwise it's just a funny card. I just like Vambrace. Anyways, that is my UPF deck tech for Hummingbird Melody. This is a very different video from what I normally make. I wouldn't expect to see too much UPF content on this channel because it's really hard to make gameplay footage of UPF. But I just like this deck so much that I just wanted to share it with you guys. So thanks for watching. Appreciate everyone. Like and subscribe. Take Drone of Brutality out of your decks. Keep it in. I love Drone of Brutality, but I also hate it so much. Until next time, look out for more budget deck techs and look out for more jank deck techs. I'll see you guys around.